Hi, Roland. This is Charlie Rose with ShelfGenie. We're going to try this one more time. The last video I did on YouTube got flagged there. So sometimes it does whenever I share anything that looks like it might be confidential information. So I just had your proposal there. Didn't even show your name or anything, but it showed some numbers on there. So I assume that red flagged it. So anyway, let's give this a try. We're going to dive in. I want to show you the different options that we looked at. Also remind you, as I didn't mention it there, that if this is something from a budget standpoint, if we're outside of what you expected or what you wanted to be able to do, let me know. We can tweak the design if there's parts of it that aren't as favorable as other parts, and we can look and see what other options we have in those areas. So I want to make sure I pointed that out as well. So we'll start off this area to the left of the sink and take a peek. We split this one, unlike the rest of them. I was going to peek right through the door, where we've got a left and a right-hand side versus going all the way across the width. So what we want to do is use the right-hand side for the trash bins, as we talked about, but the left-hand side, we're going to make it so that you can put the tall stock pots, maybe some other items that you don't use as frequently. Those can go on the bottom. Here I'm putting a 5-inch profile height. For example, if you put anything that maybe has a cord, whether it's a rice cooker, blender, anything like that, these deeper drawers are much more effective at keeping the cords contained so they don't fall out. So that's something that will be kept in mind as we do that. Then the leftover space you have above it can be used for just a variety of things. It's not as good of a location in terms of the cabinet proximity to everything else on the island. So maybe it's things you don't use quite as frequently over here or big bulky items in that space. Now here, this one you're going to use all the time. I have one of these in my house, and it is probably the drawer that gets used more than anything else by every single person that comes through. But we'll put two trash can bins in there. Well, you'll have to provide those, but it'll have room for two putting back to back. And I'm pretty sure these are a 7-gallon unit that we've used currently, but this will be a 7-inch profile height, so things won't topple out of there. It keeps those cans contained. It gives a good stable surface that we can mount the door to so that everything is contained right there and easy to access. So that'll be a great way in a fully functional use space there to the left of your sink. If we look at the area to the right of the dishwasher, we're going to put two glide outs here. The bottom one is going to be 5 inches tall. Again, as I'd shown over there, for things that maybe are bigger and bulkier, have cords, we want to keep those contained. And then on top, it could be for a variety of containers. If you have Tupperware or glassware bowls or mixing bowls or any of those melamine bowls or anything like that, that concave outward, this could be a place for that with this lower profile 2.5-inch height here. Then if we look at the island is going to be very similar. It's going to have a 5-inch profile height drawer on the bottom and a 2.5-inch profile height on the top. So this is what we call a single height. This is the double height. This allows us to be able to have things that have handles on them or curves or long just protrusions on the pots or pans that allow you to hang over that edge a little bit, and it's gonna give you a little bit more access in terms of the entirety of that space. So I do like this design. In terms of the pricing, I'll just read this out to you. I'll send it in the attachment as well. But the bottom line pricing that we showed today with the classic package, that's $35.44. It would be less if you did the basic. The basic has a 3-year warranty, still has good quality, full extension rails, lifetime warranty. We tell people if you go that route, put a liner in it. So that really seems to work well there too. But the breakdown on that, the biggest piece of that is materials at just over $31.49 and labor at $427, delivery at $143 with a discount of $174 there. So that's how we come up with that $35.54. Again, that'll be in the attachment that gets sent to you as well. That way we won't get flagged by YouTube for sharing any of that information. But take a look at that. Let me know if there's pieces of it that we need to tweak to get you to a certain budget or a certain number. Let me know. We'll see what we can come up with, and we'll be able to go from there. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I hope this is something that works well for both of you, and looking forward to seeing how we can help. Thank you so much.